The days are longer, the calendar is filling up, and I want to feel as good as this beautiful summer weather. That's why I've been loving Groons. It's one daily pack of gummies that covers my greens, vitamins, and minerals, and even has 6 grams of prebiotic fiber. So I don't need to juggle a complicated wellness routine on top of everything else. They taste amazing. They're easy to toss in my bag on the go. Plus, they're vegan, gluten-free, and HSA, FSA eligible for reimbursement. Save up to 52% off with promo code podcast at gruns.co. That's code podcast at gruns.co.
From the kids to Aunt Sue, keep your whole family connected on all their devices with crowd-pleasing gig speed internet from Xfinity. Now that's simple, easy, awesome. Learn more about gig speed internet or other popular plans, now with even more speed. Enjoy faster downloads and a better streaming experience today. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store for a great offer. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed.
Welcome to the first live Russo-Souhan show at Dulono's Pizza, downtown Minneapolis. I want to give you the correct address if you haven't been here since they moved from Uptown, 118 North 4th Street. That's 4th with a numeral, down in Minneapolis, not far from Target Center, Target Field. It's a great location. We're going to tell you a lot about the restaurant. I know Michael's been very excited about getting a live show. He misses his fans. And hey, let's embarrass him for the first time tonight. Everybody give Michael a hand, please. The first blush of the night.
It's my dream doing a show with Vicky, just eye contact 3 feet in front of me. This is just going to be wonderful. Do this twice a month for the rest of my life.
The good thing is you have Clyde as a bouncer, though.
I was talking to Vicky and Clyde and Luke here, and I had this annoying voice like over my head in the speaker, and it kept on turning around like, what is that?
Yeah, whose voice could be that annoying?
And then it turned out it was mine.
Yeah.
So, Brandon was playing an old podcast, and I have new respect for a lot of people that listen to this show that have to listen to this whiny voice every single week.
I'm amazed people listen to the show because I certainly don't.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, good luck. This is our hockey show on Talk North, talknorth.com. We've got great people on the network. Michael on hockey, Roy Smelly on baseball, Cheryl Reeve on basketball, John Krasinski on basketball. Check out talknorth.com. I want to thank our sponsors up front, Dulono's Pizza, Twill in the Edina Galleria, FixologyRepair.com, Tony Hoaglund, your State Farm agent in Champlin. Let's start with a little hockey talk, then we're going to tell you more about Dulono's and what we plan on doing here. Take me through the week of tweaks.
Oh, man. Well, I just spent 4 hours at a local Starbucks doing the mailbag that's going to be on The Athletic later this week, and I was absolutely exhausted. Let's put it this way. I don't think the fans were overwhelmed by the changes that were this week, and it was a lot of tweaking, and it really is what I expected. I mean, the second that they went into July 1st by not making a trade, even though you can go over the cap by 10% in the summer, you just knew that they weren't going to do it because now, as the summer goes deeper, I mean, there is a chance that this is the team coming back. So they added Greg Patterson, who's a right-shot big defenseman, to add toughness to the back end. They added Eric Fehr, who, we'll see if he could still play. They added J.T. Brown and then Matty Hendricks. And so it was, it was restructuring the fourth line, and it was certainly, without a doubt, looking at their third pair, and now the hope is that you can make a move. But, again, what I wrote on the mailbag, and I think anybody that listens to this show and reads me knows that I'm no homer, but I will say this. I mean, this team has made the playoffs 6 straight years, and if he doesn't make a move going into this season, it actually might mean that they have a better chance of making the playoffs rather than making a bold move. He's got until the trade deadline to make that so-called move or two that could get them over the top in the postseason. But, the one thing that I fear is that he makes these moves right now and they don't have cohesion to start the year, and it could actually hurt them to even make the playoffs. So if it doesn't happen right away this summer, I don't think fans should go into next season and just say it's a total loss. You can make trades at any point, and it might be a lot easier for him to get his eyes on the guys that he needs to move, see if Ryan Suter's healthy, and then maybe you move a Jonas Berdine or something like that. Rather than going into this season with a lot of information, without a lot of information. Even the other day on July 1st, when he talked about the 3-year deal that they gave to Nick Seeler, which I think is a real team-friendly move, he didn't seem very overwhelmed with it, and it's because he has no clue who Nick Seeler is. So I actually think it might behoove him to go into the season, if he can't make a trade now, to actually get his eyes on the guys before he goes and makes an earth-shattering move. I don't think there's a lot of value for some of the players that he wants to move right now, so I don't think you just make a trade to make a trade. He's continuing to try, and we'll see if he's able to get it done.
If you're here for the show, we appreciate it. Delano's appreciates it. To give the lineup up here, Brandon Morton, our longtime producer. I'm Jim Souhan from the Star Tribune. He's Michael Russo from The Athletic. We will be doing live questions and giving away some stuff later. Tell you quickly about Delano's. Michael, you've eaten here before. You've hung out here. Lunch buffet, Monday through Friday, 11:30 to 2. Happy hour 7 days a week, 3 to 7 and 9 to 11. Their Twitter is Delano's Pizza. They have games. They have bubble hockey, which is my favorite game of all time. They also have pool and foosball in the room behind us. Obviously, they have a large bar, big windows open to the city. Trivia on Friday nights, games on Wednesday night. And again, 118 North 4th Street. I remember, Michael, covering, this is how old I am. How come I start so many sentences with this is how old I am? 1991.
That's why I hang out with you. You're one of the rare people that's older.
God, I wish I had a comeback for that, but I don't. So 1991, I'm covering the Super Bowl for the Star Tribune. That's the Minneapolis Super Bowl. And all my buddies from L.A. came in town, and they were like, we got to go to Delano's Pizza. And that was in Uptown. It was kind of a hangout, And I took them there. We heard bluegrass music, and I realized that it was kind of a hipster hangout that was famous across the country. Well, times change. Now they've moved that location to downtown Minneapolis, and I think people should show up here.
60th anniversary this year, I believe, right?
Wow.
As well.
Mine or theirs?
Both.
Yeah. What other pending news do you want to get to with the Wild?
Thursday, my guess is that Zucker and Dembo will file for arbitration. That's just a procedural thing, a formality, just to kind of protect their rights. No risk not to. And I will say that puts a lot of leverage, at least with Zucker, on him, because all of a sudden, the only thing that Zucker could get in arbitration is a 1-year award, and there's no way the Wild are going to let him play on a 1-year deal. So that almost guarantees him that he's going to get some sort of long-term extension, because the Wild, again, he could become an unrestricted free agent next year. So they're not going to. Not only would he get a 1-year award in arbitration, but the Wild wouldn't even be able to negotiate a new deal with him until January. So he'll file for arb. I almost would think 100% on Thursday, and that should put a little pressure on the Wild to get something done. And as we all know, every time these guys file for arbitration, a deal is settled at some point. Both Granlund and Niederreiter filed for arb last year, if I remember correctly. And again, that's just to protect their rights to eventually get the eventual contract.
Is Fenton going to be the kind of guy that players like?
What?
I won. I was the first to make Michael really uncomfortable.
I don't know. He does. Can we start this whole podcast?
We're not
over?
starting this over. You have to finish the sentence.
He doesn't seem like the guy that he's gonna come down in the locker room and chum it up with guys. And he's we'll see.
I think the first game we should play here is what shade of red is Michael right now?
Yeah, I know.
Magenta? Oh, Vicky's saying it's kind of a maroon, kind of a deep maroon right now. What question could I ask you that would make you more comfortable right now, Michael?
I have no clue. Let's move on.
Well, we have a lot of people here to see you, to see the show. We do appreciate it.
I can't believe how many people did venture down. This is pretty awesome.
I know. See us? That's really weird. Or see you.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, we have some of the newer hats, a few of the new T-shirts. Unfortunately, we're out of XL.
And then a relic.
But we moved recently, and
this is like 3 podcasts.
Do you all remember this?
Yeah.
These were made up for us by Russo Slacks. right?
Yeah.
And they are really old school. They have the Nick Henry LTFP. You know what that means. And I want to get rid of these. So,
it's the first time I've really looked at that, and that Russo slacks, who did do this,
yes.
right? The bald spot's pretty spot on right back there.
He got both of our bald spots exactly right.
Yeah.
It's art. It's like Picasso.
He sent me this thing on Twitter today. That guy is like, I'm telling you, I think there's a camera in my house. He sent me a thing today just out of the blue of me in front of like a pickle store or something. And as I was on Facebook looking at a pickle ad. I mean, what are the freaking chances?
I would say the chances are pretty good.
Yeah.
Since you spend all of your off seasons looking at pickles and candles.
The other thing is, so I met up at Starbucks the other day with this Associated Press reporter named Kyle Potter, who freelances for thriftytraveler.com, which is based here. It's a travel website. So we did this story of me just telling travel stories, which I love to do. And in there, he made some joke in his article today about the weird parody accounts that follow me. And then, I literally switched to Twitter, and there is freaking Russo Slack stalking me as usual. So, yeah, I'm sure you do love him, Vicky.
We all love Russo Slacks. You're the only one who doesn't.
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. All right. Any other interesting moves in the NHL you want to highlight right now?
Well, John Tavares went to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
And that was a rather controversial move. What did you think of it?
Well, I don't know about controversial.
It was for fans.
Yeah. any if you're going to lose John Tavares as an Islander fan, you're going to be ticked, especially when he begged not to be traded at the deadline. And obviously, he could have he didn't chase the money because he could have gotten much more money in Brooklyn. And what a certain coach brought up to me the other day that I'm surprised that he didn't do is take the 1-year max at $15.9 with them and then re-sign with them in January on an 8-year deal, and then you effectively get a 9-year deal at crazy money from them. But he didn't obviously go that route. But look, it was his dream to play there. He was definitely wooed by them. And now, I will say, if you listen to this podcast all year long, all year I thought he was leaving. But the second they hired Lamoriello, I thought, well, Lamoriello is going to go there and get his guy like he always does. And then when Barry Trotz went there, I'm thinking, well, Trotz must know that he's coming back. And obviously, he goes to Toronto. And so now, if James Myrtle, I'm going to have him. I'm filling in on a local radio station here on Friday. And Myrtle from The Athletic is going to come on with me on Friday, and we're going to talk about this because I do think that if Paul Fenton's right, he tries to really work on them and maybe be patient with his guys to try to get a deal out of Toronto. And the question, Myrtle wrote a story where he was saying, well, and we talked about this last week, that they can still afford all their forwards if they want to. But the thesis of that thing is that these guys are all going to want to stay there and take a little below market value, which that's not always the case. So we'll have to see. But right now, if you're one of those young guys like Nylander or Marner, the point that Myrtle is saying is that these guys are going to want to play on this team with Austin Matthews and John Tavares forever, so they might take lower. But at some point, they got to fix their blue line there, and maybe the Wild can make some sort of move with them, whether it's Dumba or Brodin or Spurgeon at some point.
My daughter lives in D.C., a big Capitals fan. Her husband is too. They have season tickets and everything. And they want me to ask you if there's any more inside information about all the Trotz drama.
Well, there's no real inside info other than what was the obvious. And it's, again, I've been saying for a long time that he was leaving. They last year extended the assistants and not him. They eventually extended the GM and not him. And so it was very obvious from anybody that you talked to that knew him that he was going to leave no matter what. And that's what happened. The one reason why they extend him is that he had this secret option in his contract that nobody ever knew about, that if they won the cup, that he essentially gets this extra year at way below market value. And I could tell you that his agent Boudreau's agent will never put that in a contract again, because as we've seen in the last 3 years since he signed that contract, the market for coaches with Stanley Cup winning experience has absolutely skyrocketed to way above that market, and he was going to leave.
As I drink my old-fashioned here at Dulono's with Tattersall Sour Cherry, it's very good.
Nice.
Let's thank our primary sponsor, Twill in the Dining Galleria, twillmn.com. I'm not much of a model, but I do love this golf shirt I got there the other day. It's a Johnny O. It's just really comfortable. I played golf in it the other day, and probably the most comfortable shirt I've ever bought. I bought Barber there, bought Peter Millar. It's just, I know they are known for their high-end stuff in the back of the shop, but this time of the year they have tons of golf stuff, shorts, underwear, Michael. They have very comfortable underwear. I know you love to hear about that. So go to the Edina Galleria, check out Twill, or check out twillmn.com on the internet.
Jim usually doesn't like to shop for clothes. I don't like it when he shops for clothes either, because he used to buy stuff I'd want to throw out. That's why I'm so glad he's found Twill in the Edina Galleria. He likes shopping there because of the comfortable environment and the friendly staff. He finds clothes that actually fit him properly and are high-quality brands that will look great for years, whether he's golfing or working. Our favorites so far are Peter Millar, Johnny O, and Barber. We spend our money at Twill because we love the clothes and we love the no-pressure shopping. Drop by Twill in the Edina Galleria for the best shopping experience and best clothes you'll find in the Twin Cities.
I had to go there. Anything that makes them uncomfortable. Do you have anything you want to offer to make them uncomfortable right now? You have some? Actually, since we have so many people here, let's go to live questions. Brandon, we have a mic for that. Beautiful. Who wants the first live question from Michael? Vicky.
How about my editor editing right now? Is that what you're doing?
He's probably editing you as we speak. Ken, would you mind passing the mic down? Unless you have a question, you want to go first?
Dan.
You want to go first?
You go first. So, I have my obligatory Charlie Coyle question, of course, which is, Charlie, we like Charlie, except we'd like him to play every game that he shows up at, not just half of them. Mm-hmm. Is there any trade value for Charlie?
Well,
or has that gone down so much?
Yeah, well, I think it's at a low right now, and that's why, again, if you want to trade him, I think you wait. At this point, I really do, unless he's somebody that's going to make a trade go over the top. But I think you got to let him show the league that he's still a player, and I got to think he can only play better next season. He should hopefully be healthier, but yeah, he's a frustrating guy. Somebody brought up today, if the Wild on my mailbag could trade, if you trade Coyle, do you go and get a Nick Bukestad? And it's funny, it's like Nick, and I love the guy, but he's kind of Charlie Coyle. You want more out of both of those guys, and so I don't think that's something that makes the most sense for the Wild. And so I hope that Charlie plays great. I could tell you that Bruce does not want him gone. And I think he's definitely let Fenton know that. And so at this point, I do get the conjecture from talking to a GM the other day is that right now Fenton is not getting the value that he thought they could for a lot of these guys. And again, I think they're worried about trading Brodin now, so that limits what you want to do there. Bruce really doesn't want to see Spurgeon dealt. I think they're scared about trading Dumba. So that leaves Niederreiter, who has got 4 years left at 5.25, which could potentially impede a contract. And again, Zucker, if you trade him, it makes the team slower. So there's just, it's a tough thing. You don't want to make a trade just to make a trade. And at this point, we've got to see what he's got under his sleeve, if anything. But they might wind up going into the season with this team. We'll see.
Yeah, go ahead.
One more. So do you think Fenton is...
By the way, I've missed you, Ken. Yeah.
Do you think Fenton's concerned at all with the fact that the Flames and the Blues that missed the playoffs have really loaded up?
Yeah, I would be. I think the Flames have made great moves this offseason, obviously getting James Neal and Noah Hannafin and Lindholm. And St. Louis went into free agency having a major question mark up the middle. I think they still have a major question mark in goal, but up the middle, they are a much better team, and it shows how you can fix that. And they did it. Getting Ryan O'Reilly is huge, and Bozak, even though I think he's overpaid. And they get Perron back for the third time, which is just crazy that they keep on doing that.
Question from Vicky. By the way, we're going to have people actually ask questions at the end.
Can I ask, has Clyde ever asked a question on a live podcast?
He's asked, why are we here?
Yeah. Don't you think that Clyde should ask a question at some point?
I think he should. I think he's next.
Yeah.
We're going to have people ask questions at this end just so we're not stretching a cable and knocking everybody's beers over. We'll just keep it simple. Sorry, Vicky. Sorry to make you move.
That's okay. We're back. Yay.
Yay.
Yeah, I'm very excited. The comment you made about how Fenton had realized that our players weren't valued at what he thought they would be
Well, again,
valued.
Conjecture.
No, it makes total sense to me.
Yeah.
But that takes me to Tavares. $11 million?
Mm-hmm. For a long time, too.
Yeah, and it takes me back to where we got Parise and Suter. Mm-hmm. And that was the big coup of that summer.
Right.
and we haven't really seen the return we hope for
Right.
that huge investment. So I'm just hoping to God that Tavares delivers. But what is $11 million worth of performance?
Well, I mean,
Good question,
he's an
Vicky.
absolute stud. I mean, you put him on the middle. Let's just say they move Austin Matthews to wing. I mean, and put him next to Tavares. I mean, that is, my God. There's a reason why right now they went from being, that they are, by all Vegas standards, the favorite to win the Cup next year, which would be absolutely ridiculous if just watch them. I can't even imagine. When I covered the World Cup in 2005 and Canada won I walked out of the Air Canada Center and they were like flipping cars over. And I even said to the reporter I was with as we were walking through like tear gas, I'm like, can you imagine if they actually win a cup? And that was 13 years ago. Imagine if they win their first cup in what is that, 50 years? Holy shit.
Well, how long has he been with the Islanders?
Well, 9 years. He was drafted 9 years ago, I believe.
And how many cups did they get?
Yeah. Well, no, you're right. I mean, look, there's no doubt. I mean, but you look at the Islanders the last couple of years, haven't had goaltending. Their blue line's horrific. So that's a big reason. I mean, it's a team game. But I hear you.
Yeah,
on
well,
what you're saying
I'm
there.
thinking Mike Babcock is seeing the big picture. He's trying to do his $5 million a year thing. And I would love to see Toronto do something,
Yeah.
but I have questions.
Yeah.
So what do we have to do to get rid of Dumba? I'll end on that.
If they wanted to get rid of Dumba, I could promise you they could do that this minute. I think that right now, after 23 years old, coming off a couple seasons in a row where he's 27 goals, I think they're scared of doing it. And I think they want to get in front of his agents here. There really has been non-exit negotiations right now, but I don't think this is going to be a hard contract to do. The numbers are right there. And, I think their biggest question is are you willing to invest in him long term? That's what they're trying to ask themselves right now.
Let's thank John Hedges and Fixology Repair. John's at the show, but he's going to relax and have a drink and not come up here. So we'll just tell you about Fixology Repair. Downtown, right just in the Skyway, just south of the Wells Fargo Center, right across from Dunn Brothers, is kind of their cool downtown shop. They also have the big shop out at the Mall of America, third floor by Nordstrom's. I've visited both. I actually have a laptop issue I need to talk to you about later on, Jared, so remind me. You can... We'll run the ad. You didn't want to come up and talk. We're just going to run your ad. How about that?
There are some things in life that you just can't live without. Now, whether it's a special piece of jewelry, a watch, or even your smartphone, you want it in working condition. At Fixology Repair, we are committed to restoring your pieces so that everything works or fits the way it ought to. Watch servicing, chain repair, and broken screen replacements are just a few of the services that we offer at our 2 locations, Mall of America and the Skyway in downtown Minneapolis. Please visit us at fixologyrepair.com or at fixologymn on Twitter to learn more. Mention this ad and get a 10% discount on our services.
All right, introduce yourself and fire away.
Ben from Rockford. Listen to every single episode of you guys. Appreciate you. I've never emailed, never been to a live show, but just wanted to say that I appreciate you guys.
We appreciate it. Welcome.
My question is pure just me speculating on trades. Any chance Florida would ever give up Huberdeau in a trade?
He's
kind of just that semi-superstar, like a Sagan from Boston or a Johansson from Columbus.
Well, the only thing there is that they're not far from the cap, and you're right. From where he was supposed to be, he hasn't hit that level, and there are guys on that team that have now, to me, passed him. In terms of in star power. Barkov is their best player. Trocheck has been unbelievable. Daninoff was it last year, awesome. Ekblad. So all of a sudden, he is kind of that periphery guy. So it's hard for me to say. I think at some point Florida's got to do something to get themselves over the hump to just make the postseason. And I do think that they are. I would rather, if you're Fenton, go after him than Bukestad or something like that. Absolutely. But it's just it really is hard to speculate.
And by the way, Ben, Vicky, Ken, grab any shirt or hat you want. We are pushing these because I don't want to have to store them anymore, but we have the new stuff too, which is really nice. Feel free to grab whatever you like because we appreciate you being here. Bert, good to see you, man.
Nice to see you. First of all, I want to thank you for tweaking the podcast and going live again.
Well, we found the right place. That's the fun part.
And my question is, I'm going to be the oddball, and I like the moves that they made in free agency only because it allows the young guys like Greenway and Kunin to be in Iowa next year.
Yeah,
And,
maybe.
And I'm hoping that's what they do. I know you've said that Fenton believes in that a lot, but now that he's the head cheese, I hope he follows through with it, because that's the only way I think the team's going to get better.
Well, a lot of it is going to. I agree, but a lot of it is going to depend on if they make a move, because right now there is a spot for Greenway to play significant minutes here, and Bruce absolutely loves the guy. So we'll see. And the other thing that it allows you to do if you put Greenway on the team at that third spot left wing is that you might be able to experiment with him at center and move Eriksson Ek to the wing, and sprinkle these guys throughout the lineup. Even maybe move Koivu to third line and move one of those young kids up to the second line. So we'll see. I'm not as convinced as I was, say, a week ago after talking to Fenton this week and definitely talking to Bruce that 100% that Greenway is going to start in the minors if he proves himself.
I read that Fenton said he thinks Greenway belongs up here.
And again, it doesn't matter if he makes the team. He could be in Iowa a month later. I mean, that's the beauty of those entry-level contracts. They have no waivers, so you can send them down. Dan must be the cleanest writer we have at The Athletic, because Zach has barely touched his computer, and he's like one-hand editing right now. So, okay.
Dan's a good guy, by the way. I like Dan a lot.
Yeah.
He does a good job.
Thanks.
Thanks, Bert. Good to see you.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming out.
We
appreciate it.
Did I even let you ask your question? I just kind of interrupted at the beginning.
We're used to that.
All right.
It's kind of what we expect from you. Pardon me? Yeah, I didn't bring a ton of these today because I'm pushing those, but we will have more of those. Yes, you may.
Yeah, just talk in the middle of the podcast, Vic.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
We got tired of sitting in a studio just talking to each other. This is what we're here for. Yes, sir.
Forward to February, March, do you expect the trade deadline to be like draft day, or more like...
like nothing happening, you mean?
Free agency.
Wait, say that again. Ask the question. Sorry. So pushing it forth to the trade deadline?
Yep.
In terms of inactivity?
Yeah.
Or, no, there's always going to be activity at the trade deadline. A lot of it's going to depend on the Wild situation. If all of a sudden the Wild are at the deadline and have no chance of making the playoffs, they're going to probably move guys like Eric Stahl and maybe even get Koivu to waive his no move. I mean, there's going to be things like that potentially happen. If they have a chance to get over the top, they can make some moves. But league-wide, there will be activity. I was a little blown away by how little there was actually done this year, and it's funny. I mean, this has been, I think the trend is, because when I first started covering the league, there were just blockbusters, 5, 6, 7, every time that you at the draft. I mean, Bettman would get up there and say, we have a trade to announce, and everybody would just, there'd be this loud, I still remember in 2000 in my head, we're in Calgary, Roberto Luongo and Olli Jokinen for Mark Parrish and Kavash, and the sound in that Saddle Dome. In 2011, when the Brent Burns trade was announced, the sound at XL Energy Center. What's the difference? The difference is this free agency courting period that has happened in the last 3 years, which I've been a proponent of for years. But what it has done is that you have these teams that say, you know what? Before I make that huge move, let me see if say that you're Paul Fenton and you want to trade Jason Zucker or Nino Niederreiter at the draft. You want to make sure that you can go get James Van Riemsdyk or James Neal or whatever. You got to see that you're able to even do that. So. I think that the free agent courting period league-wide has stopped teams from being able to make big moves at the draft, because they kind of want to go into that courting period and see if they can get their guy and how much the framework would cost.
Good question. Grab anything you want off the table if you like. Also want to introduce Marius from Dulono's Pizza. We appreciate you having us here. Vicki and Clyde just ordered a humongous pizza that looks really good. I see everybody enjoying the pizza around the place. We've already talked with Jarrett about your place. What can you tell us about Dulono's and the move downtown?
First of all, thank you all. You guys are here, and we're very happy to have you here today. I can tell you about this place. It's in our city from 1957. We have one of the best pizza here in town. We have also a very nice and big buffet in the morning. It's going Monday to Friday, every day from 11 to 2 o'clock. We have a good happy hours with our appetizer and a variety of beers. And also we deliver till 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's right. I should have mentioned the delivery. You guys have a massive delivery area, too.
Yes, it's a very big delivery area. We try to get this pizza to everybody we can. And we do it every day till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Awesome. And obviously, we are at the downtown Minneapolis location. You also have a place in Woodbury, correct?
Yes, we have one location in Woodbury. It's not open till 3 o'clock in the morning, but it's open every day till 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the night.
And how late do you serve here each night?
I'm sorry?
And how late do you serve pizza or drinks?
The dining
here?
in is open till 1 o'clock, and we deliver till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Excellent. All right, great. Well, thank you, Marius. We appreciate you having us here. We're having a great time, and we're going to eat a lot of pizza while we're here.
Thank you.
It's funny.
Thank you, sir.
I a couple of weeks ago met Jared, the owner here, up in Woodbury, and he, where we started talking about maybe doing the podcast. And apparently Jared is the only one that knows the secret spices in the sauce.
Yeah, he was telling us that he comes here and makes the pizza sauce because nobody else knows the recipe or is allowed to know the recipe.
So yeah, I'm with them up in Woodbury and like probably till midnight hanging out, and all of a sudden I get this text from him at like 1 a.m. asking if I wanted to come down here. I'm like, wait, you're in Minneapolis? But what happened is they called him in a panic and they're like, we're almost out of the spices. So he had to at 1 a.m. actually drive from Woodbury here to go basically make put the spices in the sauce. So
hands-on ownership.
Yep.
Let's do a few. Did you have something you wanted to add, Gina?
So one of your fans stopped by earlier today and said that they wanted to buy the two of you Jameson shots.
Oh, nice.
You know what? My wife's here. My wife can drive, so I guess I can do that. Okay, you're right. I'll drive. My wife will take the shot.
Well, okay, how about this? How about the fan picks up your 2 shots and I'll pick up her shot?
Oh, wow. Well, that's a deal, and we'll just all Uber.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 3 Jamesons coming up.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm Irish. I have Irish whiskey in my blood, and so I don't think I technically get drunk when I drink it. That's the way it works, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ken just said that Michael Russo wants a Manischewitz. Not that we would ever stereotype on this show. Let's do some Twitter questions here. Feel free to come back and get the mic. Anybody wants to come up and ask a question? We won't be too tough on you.
You know this from iTodd.
Oh, iTodd, our buddy iTodd. I was
Thanks.
hoping he was going to be here. But iTodd, thank you so much
thank you very much
for ordering the drinks. That'll make this a really interesting show. Twitter question from somebody named Barbara Tabin.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
If you don't know, that's Michael's mother. She says, hey, Jim, how about brunch with Stacy on Sunday? Oh, and Russo gets to come, too. We'll have to talk about that. I have to cover the...
Actually, and I have plans Sunday for us, so...
We are both blowing off your mother. That's just sad.
No, I have plans for us.
Plus,
Plus I
gotcha.
gotta fill in for Barrero on Sunday.
Okay, I gotcha. Barbara also says, hi, Vicky and Clyde. From Jordan Durand, can't wait to come down for a show. I think we have a hockey question here someplace. Luke Reachins ask the real Russo, how are the efforts to find out who the real Russo Slacks is? We actually
met
know who
him
it
once.
is. We met him.
Yeah.
It was a momentous occasion, too.
Yeah, I told the story on a recent podcast that I tried to go through my Facebook and unfriend anybody that could possibly be him, and I somehow missed him. So he's still stalking me, stealing my photos, things like that.
Luke, you got a question for us?
No offense, Russo Slacks.
It sounds like you intended a lot of offense, actually.
Yeah.
First of all, thanks for the shout out for my new daughter.
Yeah.
Now also a Wild and Whitecaps fan. My question is, well, I guess it's more of a perspective. So the Capitals winning has given me hope for the Wild because I always felt like they and the Wild shared the same ailments. And going into this year, everyone thought that this was the one Capitals team that had no shot because they didn't add any key pieces. How would you relate the two, and should we actually be kind of cautiously optimistic with the Wild, the fact that they're more or less going in the same team, and do you think the dynamics of, I don't know, like if no trades happen, does Nino become more or less motivated, or how does this all play if it ends up being more or less the
Well, there's a
same
lot
team
to unravel there. I mean, look, I don't want to
You got him
be a
agitated, Luke.
cynical,
Good job, man.
negative person, but unless Ovechkin and Kuznetsov and all these guys are on this team, I mean, to me, it's just, the Wild aren't going to suddenly become a Stanley Cup contender because they're coming back with the same team because Washington won the Cup. There's a reason why Washington won the Cup, and the Wild don't have anything like that on this team. In terms of Nino, I mean, just nothing's going to not make Nino motivated. I mean, the guy is, look, he's a pro, great guy, dealt with a boatload of injuries last year, and he's got a pedigree of scoring goals, and he provides something that this team does not have. So I don't think it's the worst thing in the world if you don't move him, but the reality is that the bad taste that they are entering the season with these fans is one, tiredness of this same thing happening every single year, and the fact that the guys that Chuck Fletcher and Brent Flair have built this team around for years and years and years and wouldn't trade for anybody all failed in the postseason. Every one of them. And that is what's hurting right now. The reason why the Jason Zucker deal isn't done is because the Wild are saying to him, you look at your history. Look at your goals in the postseason. That's what they're trying to tell the agents. And, what they almost, they don't even know what his value would be if he went to ARB because I can tell you if it goes to ARB, what's going to be contentious is they are going to take his postseason analytics and his postseason production over the years and try to use that against him in an ARB hearing. So they don't know, is he a $4.5 million player or a $5.25 million player? But his agents think he's a $6 million player right now, and they definitely don't. So just like last year where we kind of, you know where the deal is going to come in for a lot of these guys, like we know right now if they want to sign Zucker at 5 times 5, let's say that he's asking for 6. We all know it's going to come in at probably Nino's deal at 5.25 or hair right there. And so it'll take a little while to get it done, but it'll eventually get done with the pressure that arbitration brings. But that's the negativity going into this year is that these guys again failed, and so they've got to figure out a way not to do that. And it is unfortunate and probably unfair because it's a different series if Spurgeon's not playing at 55%, and he should not have been playing. It's insane what he was when he used to take off his gear. He used to like the postseason was a week old. Okay. Like I'm making it like it was like this long history. But he geared down once in Winnipeg after it was game 1 there. And I couldn't believe what he had wrapped around him, like how he even moved on the ice. I mean, it's insane he was playing. And if Suter is not out, like they lost, and then you lose Parisi at the end of a game that he probably shouldn't have been on the ice for. So it's unfair. I still think they lose to Winnipeg with all those guys healthy, but still, we're judging it off another first-round exit when they didn't have, at the end, their top 2 defensemen. I mean, you can't win a series with Soucy and Murphy and those guys in the lineup, so that's my answer to that.
You got them wound up. Good job, Luke. I appreciate it. Grab whichever the shirts.
Nothing gets me wound up more than asking if the Wild could win the Cup because Washington did.
And you all know what that means. It means every show we do at Dulono, somebody's got to ask that question.
Yeah.
Yes, fire away.
That and what do I do during the off season?
I was about to ask that.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
By the way, let's just talk about my mother for 1 second. We talked about the whole Nicholas Backstrom thing from years ago. I cannot stop getting texts from her about what Daniel Winnick is going to be doing in the next I honestly, I almost threw my phone across my freaking apartment, like it beeped. You think that the Wild just made a trade. Is Daniel Winnick going to, are you freaking, who cares? Honestly. Next. Sorry. Daniel Winnick has become the Matt Cullen and Nicholas Backstrom. Man, this Jameson, one sip of Jameson, and I've lost
As you know,
control.
he'll be home playing with the Bulldogs.
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
I'm here on behalf of Reddit
Nice.
and other people and Discord and things.
Yeah, okay.
So I have multiple questions.
Okay.
Did you know there's an emoji of you?
An emoji?
Yes.
No, I did not.
Oh my God.
There is.
Describe it for me, please.
Does it have a bald spot?
It's bald spot,
just a happy
red
smiley
face.
face.
Oh,
So
yeah?
when we
Well,
all
that's not
share your
accurate.
articles, your face always pops up afterwards.
Oh, nice. That's
Yes.
cool. All right.
I didn't
guess.
make it.
Okay.
You sound so uncomfortable.
So my actual face is
Do you
an
want to
emoji?
see it?
Yes.
I kinda-
Yes, we definitely want to see it.
Oh, yeah.
So this is
One
on
moment.
Reddit?
It's actually on the Discord based off of Reddit.
Okay, what's that mean? I'm not a Reddit. I
Discord's
don't.
a big, giant server chat room that we all follow and watch all the games together and talk to each other.
Okay.
And we got guys from Sweden and
Wow,
a
awesome.
couple Dutch guys and Australians.
Yeah,
and
where's Jake? One of our reporters here. That sounds like a story he should write.
I'm in charge of it, so don't push your limits. What would the Wild have to do to trade for Karlsson? That comes from Discord.
Well, here's the deal with Karlsson, and to me, it's the same as. That's cool. That's what I look like.
That's what you look like when you're this big.
Yeah. At least you can't see my bald spot on that.
I need one of those.
I mean, to me, the Karlsson question to start off with is the same as the Skinner question, the Simmons question, the Panarin question, the thing like that. Like, you have to make sure that this guy is going to resign here. And then do they have the belief that they could afford $12 million for this guy? And here's my concern with trading Karlsson. And I love the guy. But to get him, you're probably going to have to trade, probably one of your big D, but then probably a couple of those forwards. So now you trade Karlsson and you pay him $12 million. Well, who the hell's up front? Like, they don't have, the Wild's cupboard is so bare that you don't have, guys that you can just throw into the mix to all of a sudden play cheaply as top forwards in that situation. So now to get Karlsson, you're blowing a hole through your forward core, and can you win that way? So I just don't see how it fits, how it works. I don't know how you get him to re-sign here. Again, now the one thing is that if Paul Fenton wants him at the beginning, you can at least talk to him. According to the reports right now, is that you can at least talk to him to find out if he'd have a chance to resign here. So that's where it starts. You have to talk to him and say, would you resign here if we trade for you? Because we can't give out 50 assets to, not. So I don't know. I just don't see. I know that every time anybody brings up a big trade to me, I say I don't see how it fits, but a lot of it's I really just don't. Like all the guys that right now are interesting to trade for are all guys in the last year of a contract. They're going to require huge assets and get a huge raise. Like Jeff Skinner is a great example. Be an awesome player, but he's already makes $5.75, so you could probably get him to resign here. But what are you going to have to pay him? And then Pacioretty just fired his agent because he felt like his agent was too cozy with Mark Bergevin. So he hires Alan Walsh, who's going to want to hit in a Vander Kane, James Van Riemsdyk deal. So are you going to blow a bunch of assets to trade for him now? Wayne Simmons, the same thing. Perfect for the Wild, in my opinion, but you're going to have to re-sign him. And by the way, his agent is the agent for Ennis, who's already pissed with him with the way that happened to Ennis. Spurgeon, who's already ticked because he just had to give him a no-trade clause, and by the way, probably another no-trade clause in next. By the way, those no-trade lists that they got last week are no longer good. The Wild have to again now go to all these players and get new no-trade lists for this upcoming season. So they're already ticked about that, and they're fighting with them for Jason Zucker. So now you already got that dynamic as Wayne Simmons coming here and an agent that's not exactly going to be friendly with the whole Wild in a negotiation.
I'm about to ask Michael.
Were there any more questions, by the way?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
If you have any more, thank you. Grab a shirt or a hat or something if you like. We appreciate you being here. I am gonna ask you what you're doing this summer, but first I want to welcome Tony Hoaglund. He sponsors this show and a couple other shows on the TalkNorth.com network, and he's also a big hockey fan. So start off by asking Russo a question.
Oh, I don't really have. Everybody's asked such good questions today.
Okay, then ask him what he does during the summer.
What I was looking at is that big list of whiskey over there, and I was trying to figure out which one of them Russo dropped off of his shelf the other night. And
Bushmills.
Smashed all
God,
over
it pissed me off. Did I tell that story on the podcast? Yeah.
You did.
It still bothers me, especially when I stepped on a piece of glass the other day.
Oh.
I thought I got it all, but apparently I didn't. And little tiny fragments of glass, a lot harder to get out and much more painful than. Anyway, we went to Bushmills last year, and I got a personalized bottle that you buy there, and right now I'm trying to sell my place. So if you want to buy it, call me. I'll give you a deal. And so the stager had me put all this stuff away for the pictures, and I put this thing in there, and I just didn't expect it to be in there, and then boom, it went out and broke all over and it was in this like awesome canister type thing, and it just ticked me off.
It bothers you so much.
Andy knows what I'm talking. I was with Andy when I bought it. He was on that Ireland-Scotland trip.
It bothers you so much, I think we're just going to keep bringing it up as often as possible.
Yeah.
I don't see why not.
Tony sponsors a lot of shows on the network. His last name is Hoaglund. You can Google him or check out his website. He's a State Farm agent, works out of Champlin. Michael and I both get our insurance through Tony, and Tony's got a couple of cool things to bring up today.
Yeah, well, first thing's a fun fact. I'm actually cousins with the brains of the operation.
No way.
Yeah, we're
Monticello
long-lost
people.
Long-lost
cousins.
Wow.
So.
They spell their last names differently.
Wow, yeah, look at that. That's
so
crazy.
I think it was my great-great-grandfather got in a fight with her great-great-grandfather, and mine added an A to the last name, and hers kept just the O.
Wow, that's an awesome story.
Yeah, so she tells me she spells it the right way, which is why Jim does such a good job of spelling it every time that we...
The A is for antagonistic, I think.
That's right, yeah. Yep. So we got a couple cool things going on this summer. We have a July 14th block party at my office in Champlin. So we're going to do live Talk North shows. Unfortunately, Michael's out of town at the Italy trip, but Jim's got some shows that are to be determined. Definitely bring the kids. There's going to be a bounce house, face painting. BMX bike professionals are getting flown in from the bike shop that's right next to me, and they're doing a BMX bike shop thing, so it'll be pretty cool. And then the last thing, and we're going to just start doing this for every show, but anybody that calls the office and mentions the Russo-Souhan show, I'll donate $16 to the Give 16 campaign for the Zookers. So we'll keep doing that for the shows, and hopefully the Wild don't trade Mr. Zucker, and yeah, so... And I'll give some backstory there. So the reason that we do that is, so my youngest son has a very mild form of juvenile arthritis, and he was treated at Masonic Children's Hospital on the U of M campus. So thankfully for us, it's very, very mild. It's treated with a leave and some shots and stuff like that. But you can just, we got to see firsthand, what that did for those kids there, and it's just an awesome thing. So
awesome.
We're going to do that going forward. So
awesome. That's great. And the best place to reach you if somebody wants to reach out to you?
Literally call in, click in, or come in is kind of what we tell people. So you can come to our website at www.champlininsurance.com, all one word. Call us at 763-421-4900, or just stop into the office if you're in the area. So. And
as you can tell, Tony's very easy to deal with, as we found out. Thanks so much for being here, Tony. We always appreciate it. Good to see you. And
in Vancouver, go to Gotham Steakhouse. Yep, absolutely awesome. He's going to Vancouver for a sales trip coming up, or a convention, so yeah, Gotham Steakhouse.
Awesome. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it. The mic is open if anybody has any more live questions. I'm going to ask you seriously. I'm going to ask the satirical question. Oh, no, I didn't know we had somebody live. Fire away.
So, Russo, if the Wild are going to make a trade, would it have to be for a center? And if they don't, do you think Boudreau might start putting Gramlin back at center to see if they could go for a high-end winger?
Well, I've talked to Boudreau about this a lot because my idea, if they went out and got Kessel, was that you'd have to put Gramlin at center because Kessel would have an absolute conniption fit after one shift with a couple of guys. And or one guy. We should probably erase that too.
We're not erasing that. No way we're erasing that.
So where was I? Boudreau's feeling is that while that makes sense, that Gramlin's best 2 years was playing wing. And that it would just be a disaster to move him back to center at this point, and that they've found a niche for this guy and turned him into a heck of a player, and to change it based on that. So, but you're right. I mean, you try to look at fits, but we have to see what the trade was. What you're going to probably do is, if you traded a guys, you'd suddenly create holes on the wing, because it'd be Nino or Zucker or something like that, Coyle, and you'd be able to move guys around respectively. So I don't think it has to be a center. I think that Boudreau would love to get some right wings in here right now. And that's the problem, is that, look, they've had Parisi and Nino both playing their offsides the last couple of years. Both don't, although Parisi played well with Koivu down the stretch at that spot, I think that Nino does not love playing there. And the other thing is Nino, when he did love playing there, it was because he felt like he had better looks offensively coming down the wing and shooting, kind of like his Game 7 winner against Colorado. But, one of my frustrations with Nino the last couple of years, he doesn't unleash that shot anymore, even when he plays right wing. So then you might as well just put him back to his natural position if he's just going to be a net crashing guy. So,
any chance that Sokol is going to have a chance of making the team?
No way. I mean, he's going to need time in Iowa to go right from junior to this spot. But I think it's really intriguing. I'm glad they signed him. Chuck Fletcher had to basically at the end convince his guys that, like, hey, we don't know if this guy's going to be good enough if we don't sign him, so you might as well try. So we'll see. But look, he's got natural talents, and I think he's the one guy that it would really be good for him to spend a long time in Iowa, maybe a year, and let's see if he could put up numbers down there. And if he does, he'd be the first Iowa Wild player, or really player that I can remember since like Patrick O'Sullivan with Houston, that actually put up huge numbers for one of their minor league teams. And I think that'd be huge, and then maybe they can turn him into an actual player here. So
good questions. Thank you. Grab a shirt if you like. Seriously, what are you doing with your summer?
Going to Italy on Monday. A couple people here are coming with me, which I'm really excited about. I'm really excited for this trip. It's going to be awesome. And then I come back. The day after I get back, I'm going to Denver for Trampled by Turtles. They play at Red Rocks again. I'm also going to see them in Duluth on Saturday. And then what else? Got a Cancun trip, got a Michigan trip. So,
you know what Bert was telling me earlier? There are 3 factors to long life. One is
coffee.
One is coffee. Mm-hmm. Lots of coffee. Number 2, I'm not going to mention in public, but you can guess. And number 3 is seeing 2 concerts a month.
Oh yeah. Well, I could see that.
And my wife and I go to a lot of concerts. We don't but we don't go to enough. We go to one every once in a while. So we got to go to more.
Yep. What was your first ever concert?
My first ever concert? Oh, see, I went.
What's that?
Buddy Holly, Big Bopper,
No.
and Richie Valens.
Wow.
I was 10 years old
That's
in
incredible.
Iowa.
Oh, man.
It was their third to last concert.
Oh, wow. I'm so jealous. That's fantastic. Yeah, you win the contest. I was like kind of a hairband guy when I first started actually getting into music. So my first concert it might have been Rush, it might have been REO Speedwagon, it might have been Foreigner. I can't remember which one it was. But then I kind of transitioned away from hairbands. I still liked them, but those are my first. What was your first?
I don't want to say.
Yes, you're going to say.
Next, we got people online asking questions.
No, we don't. We have nobody online asking questions.
I honestly don't remember. I remember I saw Toad the Wet Sprocket and
they're good.
And God, who's the opening act? It's oh my God, I can't believe I can't remember. And they still play. I can't think of it, but one was Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was one of my first ones when I was a kid. My mom brought me Sunrise Music Theater. But then I was constantly going to concerts. I mean, I went to Lollapalooza a ton. So I remember when I was young, I saw Smashing Pumpkins and Pearl Jam at Lollapalooza in Atlanta, which was awesome. God, who was it?
By the way, I highly recommend a couple of documentaries. One is the Pearl Jam documentary. I think it's called 10.
Right.
It's fantastic. What was the other one? I'm blanking. We must be getting old. We're blanking a lot here.
Yeah.
But go ahead. You had a thought.
No, I can't remember what the other concert.
We did go to the Eagles and Buffett concert at Target Field the other night, and it's amazing that U.S. Bank Stadium cost $1 billion, and it sounds horrible in there, and Target Field sounds fantastic.
Really?
The sound system's great. It really is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I saw Billy Joel there last summer.
They were, Stage and I were there for that too. It was very good.
Well, first off, my first concert was REO Speedwagon, Styx, and Journey.
Nice.
My mom took me when I was like 12 years old.
Awesome.
It was at the XL. It's pretty great. So my question is pretty selfish. Last year I bought a Niederreiter jersey.
Mm-hmm.
If he comes out of the gate swinging, how early should I buy myself a new jersey to wear to the XL this year?
I don't know. I mean, if he's coming out of the gate swinging, I mean, that might sell Fenton to keep him. And remember, I mean, it's hard to make trades early in the season when teams are capped out and things like that. So, I really don't know. All I could tell you is he came very close to trading Zucker and Niederreiter at the right around the draft time, and obviously didn't come. So he's thinking of that name. and right now it hasn't transpired.
Well, if he keeps it up, and at the trade deadline, the Wild need to make a move, do you think he's going to be one of the most talked names on the team?
Well, again, same thing at the trade deadline. Usually, you don't grab guys with term. So the guys that are usually traded at the deadline are people without term. So that would make it more likely that Stahl are people with only a year or two left. So yeah.
Good question. Thank you. Grab a shirt if you like, or whatever's available at this point. Yes, sir.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
I have a team chemistry related question.
I love these.
Yeah.
Speaking of making them uncomfortable.
There's some things that you just can't talk about.
Sure. But
if you come to Italy, a couple of wines I usually talk about. Poor Ryan was there in Ireland, Scotland. So Ryan is Andy and Claudine's son. And last year, I think it was the first night we all went out. And I pretty much destroyed Ryan's confidence about the future of the Wild in one meeting. So.
I will say one of the great experiences in life is going to a dinner with LaPanta and Russo.
Yeah, I'm getting peppered by LaPanta
and having
right now.
LaPanta tell me that they're going to win 8 cups in a row.
Oh my God!
And having Russo tell me they're never going to win another game ever again.
The last time I had him on the radio with me was exhausting. We were legit.
So it was like it was normal then.
Margot sends me this text. She's like, you and Anthony have such great chemistry on the radio, and it was because I was really legitimately freaking angry. I'm like, are you So.
I don't see him ever lose another game.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a bad LaPanta impersonation. Go right ahead.
I'm trying to sell my girlfriend on the Italy trip, so anything you guys can do, that'd be helpful.
Next summer, we're trying to do Sicily or Iceland or something. So
there we go.
If we do it, Sicily,
Iceland, yeah, same thing.
So I guess my question is, when a new GM comes in, is there anything that they can do, or how do they assess the situation in the room? Do they take everything the coach says at his word, or do they do some sort of backdoor research?
Well, I mean, I don't know. There's a gazillion ways to ask that. I mean, they do their own research, but they are certainly getting intel from the coach, from everybody in the front office, and things like that. So I think Fenton's got a pretty good grasp of what the room dynamics are right now and things like that. It's an interesting question.
Keep asking questions. Just make them as uncomfortable as possible. All right. Hey, good question. Grab a shirt if you like. Did you have another? Step right up. Only if you show us all the Russo emoji one more time.
Oh, no.
This is actually a serious question from Sweden.
Oh, yeah.
Someone's still awake over there.
Wow. So explain to me again what a Discord of Reddit is. I don't get it.
It's just a rolling chat room
okay.
based around the hockey team.
I got you.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
How do I get into that? I probably shouldn't be in there.
You'd be more than welcome. You'd
Yeah.
probably be interrogated more than once, though.
Yeah, no, I'll just stick to Twitter.
Good point. Good job. He wants to know if you think there's a stubbornness problem in NHL coaches. Across league, fans constantly complain about coaches playing certain players like Koivu over Halla, and with Vegas' success largely coming because of a coach's willingness to not be stubborn.
Well, I mean, getting back to the dynamic question, I mean, there's a dynamic on every team. I mean, if you have Koivu and Halla, I mean, you're just kind of, if you're Halla, and it's frustrating, I'm sure, for him, but you're stuck there. And any coach is going to do that. I mean, we just saw that. I mean, Mike Yeo did it forever, and everybody thought that Mike Yeo couldn't figure that stuff out. And then you have Boudreau comes in with the pedigree that he's got, and still the same thing happened where guys are pinned behind, and a lot of it's contract dynamics and things like that. And then what happens is you go to Vegas with a totally clean slate, and he was able to earn that type of ice time. And it actually took him a while to get to that point. So. It's kind of the way it is on a team that's got guys, in set positions. But I do think there just comes a point here where things have to evolve, and we'll see this year. I mean, when you talk to Bruce, I mean, he doesn't beat around the bush. I mean, I do think that Mikko is going to take a little step back and roll in ice time this year, and we'll see. But that's easier said than done. I mean, a big draw at the end of the game, you're going to want Mikko taking that over Eriksson Ek. I mean, that's just the fact of life. Especially if Eriksson Ek's going to win 39% of his draws again. That's another area where he's got to, evolve, not just offensively, but face-off circle. So
one more question.
Yes, sir.
with all the criticism that Granlund and Zucker get of being soft in the playoffs, is it circumstances, or do you really believe that they are players that are going to have difficulty in the playoffs?
I just think the Wild are an easy team to check in the playoffs, and it really comes across in that postseason. They only have a certain amount of guys that you can rely on to put the score. You know, if you're Winnipeg, are you worrying about stopping Marcus Foligno and Matt Cullen and those guys on the third and fourth lines, or you say, all right, we got to check Zucker and Granlund and those guys? I mean, that's just the way it is. And Coyle was obviously playing unbelievably hurt. And now in hindsight, you actually see it. Like, I could think of where we were in the press box was right in their shoot twice zone. And there were so many times Coyle was coming in with the puck on his stick where he didn't unleash shots. And now you see why with the wrist injuries that he had. And so, you know, they had guys that weren't playing well. And Nino was probably just a little bit of both. Wasn't skating well, didn't get to the areas where he could. You know, it was just a bad series for them. It just was, especially without Suter.
Last question of the show, then I'm going to say my thank yous, then Michael's going to give his famous
I have no
not
last thought.
That's why we call it the famous not thought. Fire away.
So even though they're professional players, I feel like a lot of players were comfortable under Fletcher and not really worried about being traded because he didn't do many game-changing trades. Do you think there's going to be like more of an edge to their play as they're like trying to learn the new GM, or will it not be that big of a factor?
I don't think that they're going to think like that, but I could tell you right now, I mean, it's not daily anymore, but man, the 2 weeks leading into the draft, I was getting daily texts or DMs or Instagram messages from players like, what are you hearing? What are you hearing? Like, there were a lot of guys on edge. All thought they were potentially gone, especially when the no trade lists were put out. Like Fenton, forget it. This is where you got to come to Italy. Like Fenton, just he can't understand how I the no trade list. He couldn't understand how I got that. And it's obvious. I mean, between agents and play, everybody was on edge. Where all of a sudden you asked that question, and it was easy for me to find out. I didn't have to work too hard for that one. And so that one's a perfect example of when that happened. All of a sudden, I mean, just think of how it works. If you're a player and you've been asked to give a list of names, well, that player, that player's going to tell like, oh my God, I just had they just asked for my list of no trade, and that player's going to tell that player, and that player's tell that player, and suddenly it just sprinkles across, and eventually it gets into my cell phone. And so that's the whole thing. Fenton, this has been an interesting month for him. Even the other day, he couldn't figure out how every single move they got that I found out about before it happened, and that's just the way it is. And so I think he's starting to realize that you might not be a great information seeker, but the reporter is probably going to find out anyway. And so I think that can only help things where all of a sudden he might become a little more forthcoming with the fans, which is all I want. I know that wasn't your question, but now I'm over-caffeinated, definitely hydrated, and
tipsy.
And
a little tipsy.
Yeah. So.
Oh, John Hedges is. What's he
I haven't
doing?
drank too much. So.
He's a lightweight. We know that, John.
You want it?
Unlike John, he's a lightweight.
Here, take it.
All right, I'm gonna
share it with Andy.
I'm going to say my thank yous. Thank you to Dulono's Pizza again, 118 North 4th Street, 4th with the numeral, downtown Minneapolis. Easy parking in Ramp C, easy parking in the parking lot right next to the building, which is where I parked tonight. Sometimes there's street parking right in front of the place. I think everybody had a pretty good experience getting here tonight. We appreciate everybody who came out. We've missed you. Thanks for making this so much fun. Thanks to our sponsors, Dulono's Pizza, Twill in the Edina Galleria, Fixologyrepair.com, Tony Hoaglund sitting right over there, your State Farm agent in Champlin. And let's do this again soon.
Where's Jared, the owner?
Jared got hung up.
Oh, okay. I thought he just walked in. I saw him walk in at the beginning. No?
Oh,
Maybe.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I think he got really busy. That's why. And also thank you to Marius and Jerry for being so hospitable and giving us booze. We always like that.
Yeah.
And now the famous Russo.
That was my last thought. I want to know what
famous
Jared
Russo
was.
not final thought.
I have no final thought.
I know.
Thank
That's
God.
why I ask.
I can't believe you guys ate all that pizza.
That was a massive amount of pizza. It must have been good. Okay, so Vicky and Clyde recommend the Dulono's Pizza. I know Bert and Julie had one earlier. We're going to have one here in just a little bit. Hey guys, thanks to everybody.
Yeah, thanks
we
for
really
everybody
appreciate
coming.
it. Give Michael and Dulono's Pizza a nice round of applause.
Pretty little city built on a hillside. Music back in the bars and fire in the sky. We went to the beach and it was covered in ice, and I used to call it home. So much coming out, there's nothing going in. I know that you feel like you're never gonna win. Oh, but the world won't forgive a winner.
Security threats are everywhere. But with Xfinity XFi, you're notified of threats to your in-home Wi-Fi network, so all your connected devices are protected. That's simple, easy, awesome. Switch to Xfinity today and get a great offer. You'll get fast speeds and the best in-home Wi-Fi experience with Xfinity XFi. Plus, ask about enhanced security for safer browsing and more. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store to switch today. Restrictions apply.